Hello and welcome to Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Rileigh Smurl.
And I'm Sydney McElroy, and we have a very special guest this week.
We do.
So do you want to introduce our guest to everybody?
This is our Uncle Michael. He is our mom's younger brother, and he is here to talk about teening with us.
So, Uncle Michael, thank you for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And I should clarify, Michael's like our cool uncle. Mm-hmm. Like he's like younger and cooler
like
than
I'm
most
Charlie's
uncles.
cool aunt. He's the cool uncle.
You're the cool aunt. Oh yeah,
Duh.
exactly. Like you're gonna be Charlie's cool
Aunt cool.
Exactly.
Aunt cool.
This is Uncle Cool.
Uncle cool.
Uncle Scampi.
Michael's a big fan of scamping things, so sometimes he's Scampi Mike, not just Mike or Uncle Mike.
Uncle Scampi.
Not really. I had Scampi one time. It was
I know. How did you get saddled with that, though? Because we act like you really love scamping things.
Well, we were on vacation and we went out to eat, and a couple of people ordered shrimp scampi, and not everybody finished theirs, but so I finished theirs for them. And so I had several portions of scampi that night, so Justin donned me Scampi Mike. And kind of
He's been Scampi Mike ever since.
I've been scamping around the country since then.
You can scampi anything, really.
That's true.
Well, we've mentioned before that whenever we have a guest on our show, before we get started, because we've got some things, some new developments.
Some new developments in the lives of Rileigh and Sydney.
Mainly in the life of Rileigh. I mean, really in the life of Rileigh that have occurred. And so, we have a lot to talk about. But before we get there, we always like to ask our guests a question. So, Michael, how did you teen, generally speaking?
Well,
just so we can kind of place you in the teen,
the teen spectrum.
Teen universe.
Exactly.
The teen Roy G. Biv. Well, I guess I was kind of, if you had to like just broadly characterize me, I guess I would be a jock maybe, because I played a lot of soccer, as you know.
Yep.
So I guess I was kind of a jock. I was actually pretty much a huge dork. That I don't.
Hidden dork.
Dork, is that not anything? Is that something people say these days?
No, I think dork's a pretty acceptable term.
Oh, okay.
I'd say I'm a dork.
Okay.
So, well, I was kind of a dork on the inside. I did played a lot of video games and was really into computers and things like that. So I kind of concealed my nerdiness with my soccer playing, I think. So
You really did, because the perception from all the rest of us in the family, because there's a lot of us. We have a big family. We don't talk about that a lot.
We really don't. There are
No.
a lot of us. I don't even know half their names. I'm just kidding. I'm not that horrible.
Rileigh just doesn't pay attention very well. No, there are a lot of us, and we always kind of looked up to Michael as like, he's the cool one. The rest of us are like,
yeah, it was pretty easy.
Read that latest popular science? And Michael always seemed much cooler by comparison.
It was pretty easy to be cool to like a bunch of 5 and 6 year olds.
I guess that's true.
I could drive, It was like, hey.
That's true. I still remember you took me to Chick-fil-A in the student center at Marshall when I was younger. And I still remember like at that day being like, this is what you do. Like when you're a cool adult, like you go to college, you go to Chick-fil-A. It's the most amazing thing.
This is incredible.
This is incredible. I'll never live a life like this.
One day, Sid. One day.
I'm consigned to mediocrity forever. Only KFC for me. I don't really have any bias against any chicken franchises, whatever you prefer, I guess.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think Chick-fil-A is kind of the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
They make some delicious chicken.
Yeah, I've tried to replicate it several times in my kitchen. It just hasn't quite turned out.
Me neither. We followed that online recipe like...
With the brine and the pickle juice?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was really salty.
Yeah, right?
Like not in a good way. Yeah. Oh no, we took it too far.
So this is what this episode is about. It's about chicken.
It's about chicken.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, so I teened through Chick-fil-A.
And we envied that a great deal. Well, the thing that we want... Okay, first of all, Rileigh, I think you need to update everyone because we did an episode on how to party.
Our very first episode.
Yes. And sort of the idea was that Rileigh had at that point one party.
One. Ever been to one, ever had one, just one.
Yes. She had one party in her life. It was one she threw. So that's how she got invited, I guess.
Yeah, I invited myself.
She did give herself an invitation. And so she didn't have a good reference for partying. So I was trying to like instruct her based on my partying experience how to do it correctly.
I think you did a bad job based on recent
I think I did. I must have missed some major points because since then, Rileigh has been partying it up big time.
Really big time.
Because she had a party this past weekend. And do you want to share your party story?
I guess I have to for the
Yes.
fans.
That's the whole point here. So you've got to.
So we were all just hanging around in my kitchen, having a good time, listening to music, talking, drinking soda. We were all high schoolers. I swear we were drinking soda. And all of a sudden, someone says, "Hey, the cops are here." And I was like, "Oh, haha, so funny. This is such a raging party. The cops had to come."
There were like, how many people would you say were there?
I'd say not
Just
even everyone was there at that point. Maybe like 10 or 11? Not
10 or
even that
11
many.
people, co-ed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a few guys, mostly girls at that point.
Was caffeine-free soda?
It was. Caffeine free.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It totally
It was
was. It
diet
was like
soda caffeine free.
it was like orange soda and so stuff that didn't have caffeine in it.
Yeah. Raging.
Wild party.
Wild party. And then I was like, it's so funny. And then I hear it ringing at the doorbell. And it's like, oh, someone must be here. And it actually was the cops that come in my house and said, "Hey, we got an anonymous call. There is underage drinking going on here." And I turned around and the back door was open. And I guess a few of my friends had decided to run over the hill.
Rileigh turned around and it was like a Looney Tunes moment. There was like a puff of smoke and there was a hole in the back wall of the house
They're
shaped like
my
three
friends.
teenagers.
Yes.
Bursting through and took off, which, to be fair, looks a little guilty.
It does. That's what the first thing they said was. They were like, "Well, we were just going to stand outside, but then we saw some of your friends running out the back door and jumping your fence, so we decided to come in." And that's how my night started.
Yeah, I think that's what's called probable cause.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's
We
why they came in.
should clarify, Michael, you can also give us some legal advice on this matter. Michael is a lawyer, so that's the other thing. We hopefully by the end you'll tell us if Rileigh's in any real trouble here.
Maybe we should just cut this off right now and have this conversation outside of microphones.
I know, really. They can hold this
We'll
against
be
us,
back.
right?
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so I guess it turns out, the cops came in, they did their breathalyzer thingy on all of us that stayed inside, which was terrifying. I was sobbing the whole time, so I couldn't even breathe in long enough to do it correctly. I had to try like 3 different times. And then my friends disappeared for the next 45 minutes, the 4 people that ran, and they couldn't find them. And they were in the woods, and they came back.
And everybody who took the breathalyzer who was there
Was clear.
was fine.
It was all
right?
zeros.
So you were not drinking.
No.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believed you anyway. It helps that we have documented evidence.
Proof.
Yeah.
Nobody was drinking.
Objective test.
Exactly.
Yeah. But they didn't get to test the people that ran. And I guess it turns out the people that ran were like sneaking it. And that's why they ran. But I wasn't aware that there was underage drinking going on.
Now let me say this. So I came in, I joined this really cool party at this point because because we haven't mentioned where were mom and dad.
Oh, they were at rehearsal for the summer theater.
Yeah.
They were doing Wizard of Oz. So
So
they
our-
were directing. at
Exactly.
rehearsal.
So
This
our
was
parents
like 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 7:30, 8 o'clock. I don't know.
It was
early.
it was right around 8 o'clock, I think, because I had just gotten Charlie down. And that's what I knew mom and dad. And this happens a lot that mom and dad will go to rehearsal because they're directing community theater. And these are really wild people. They're directing community theater. And Rileigh will have friends over.
I mean, they
Usually
knew I
not.
was having people over.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was having people over while they were gone. They knew I was having guys and girls over.
Yes.
But they were going to be home by 9 o'clock.
And they always know, I live really close. I live right down the hill
30
from mom and
seconds
dad.
away.
And so, I'm always aware in case they get scared or something. That's usually what it is. In case the
Yeah.
girls get scared, can they call you? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So in this case, I get a call from mom and she is sobbing hysterically and screaming,
Right.
"Sydney, you have to get to our house. The police are there." And of course, my first thought is something bad has happened. Somebody's gotten hurt. So there's some sort of somebody
Someone broke
sick.
in.
Yes, somebody
Not our
broke in.
fault.
No, something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? There's underage drinking. What? Because then I'm thinking, I don't really want to be part of this scene. I don't. I'm a doctor here. I'm like a respected member of the community. I don't want to. I want to head into this. What is happening? There was an anonymous call. There's underage drinking. They're not drinking. You have to go tell the cops to leave and that it's okay and that there's an adult there. So I throw on my clothes, and I will say, like, I was in my pajamas and I thought, well, I can't go up there in my pajamas. I have to look like a real grown up. So I threw on my jeans and my Marshall, or like my workplace like pullover,
so everyone knew.
So that everybody would know, like, see, I'm employed.
I'm a doctor.
Or at least I work for a place that also employs doctors. You have no idea, like, everybody has this same pullover. Like,
Right.
everyone who works there. Everybody works in the building does.
I could literally be any position at this hospital.
Yeah, literally
You won't
anybody
know.
there. But you know I have a job. You know I'm a legitimate grown-up. Because
So you didn't put on the stethoscope then?
I didn't. I thought about it for
Put
a
on your
second.
white
Like,
coat.
wear my white coat up in the middle of the night on a
At ease,
Friday.
at ease, officer. Does somebody need a doctor? Oh, sorry.
This is also my sister, by the way.
Just happened to be walking through the neighborhood.
I saw some flashing lights. Thought my services may be in order. But I even ran and like brushed my teeth because I may have had a beer. Because I'm an adult and I can drink a beer if I want to. And so I like brushed my teeth and got all dressed up and went up to the house. And I come in and there are already two dads there, two of the kids'
Yeah.
dads had already shown up, and the cops were so unimpressed with this party.
One of the cops called it lame.
They did.
He said there's no music, no TV or anything. I was like, no, people just came over like an hour ago. And I was crying this whole time. He's like, well, you got a lame party going on here. So, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, he called all the kids losers.
They called my
But-
parents suckers for not locking their liquor cabinet.
Yes. And but it was nice. They were very nice. They were very polite. They were, I think, very relieved that there were other adults there so that they could carry on with their business, because I'm sure they had many more important things to do that night.
Definitely.
I'm sure, yeah.
And
Pressing
so
things at 8 o'clock going on in Huntington.
all the wild things that go on at 8 o'clock. But I'm sure they had anything, literally anything would have been more important at this point, except for the fact that there are still 3 teenagers missing.
4.
4. There were 4.
Which 2 of them turns out weren't even doing anything, drinking, anything.
Wait a second.
But they ran.
This happened on Friday. It's Sunday. They're still missing?
No, they came back.
Oh, okay.
They're around now. We don't know where they are.
But we're just laughing about it.
They're still missing.
No, the problem is our parents live on top of like a hill. And so you can't just go over this hill in the middle. I mean, it's
It's like a drop off.
a drop off. It is not a place you just want to climb down in the middle of the night, which is what these kids were doing.
Yeah.
We did find them all. We recovered them. They were all fine.
We recovered them?
Yes.
It sounds like they didn't quite make it. We
They all made it.
we were able to recover them.
We recovered the bodies.
No, they were living teenagers who were a little dirtier than when they left. They tumbled down some hills, but they were fine. They were all fine, and the police were not upset, and the parents didn't even make the kids leave.
No.
They were like,
And
oh.
one of the parents was even a parent of someone who ran. And he
Yeah.
was just like, whatever.
The parents
fun.
were kind of like, well, this is nothing compared to my day, and that was it. And then mom and dad came in, and I got mom to calm down and not.
Mom yelled at me and pointed at me and told me to stop crying and not to say anything. But then she understood that we didn't do anything wrong, and then she was more caring for me.
So basically, Rileigh, I think I tried to teach you how to party, and now it sounds like you have, in return, demonstrated how not to party.
This is how not to party. This is the opposite.
You did it all
a bad
wrong.
job.
So I think we should first start out by like trying to break this down where you went wrong.
Every part of it. I mean, the cop showed up. It was all bad.
Because I will say, I never had a party where the cops showed up. Did you, Uncle Michael? Did you ever have a party?
No. I mean, I had some parties in high school, and some of them were probably, actually, I never had parties at my house. I went to other people's houses to party, which I think that's probably a good thing to do. So maybe that was your first
Yeah.
mistake.
That was my first mistake.
Yeah.
Not having any more parties for a long time.
Yeah.
Go to parties somewhere else. That's a good tip.
Yeah, party at someone else's house. Break their stuff. Yeah, but no, I never had the cops called on me.
No, me neither. And neither did our other sister, Taylor. So you have set a new record
Now I'm
in
the
terms
coolest,
of the
I
Smurl
guess.
girls. I guess you're the coolest?
Yeah, that's what it means.
I don't know. I mean, like you said, we have a big family. I can't think of any family member that's had a party busted at their house by the cops.
Wow.
I'm a first.
It's a new record.
I never thought I'd be the first one to do that.
I did not suspect that when I occasionally go over to the house and Rileigh's still like not ready yet, and I can hear her like belting Leah Michelle songs from Glee in the shower. I never suspected that she would have a party broken up by the cops at some point.
I can actually say I've heard that several times.
I never imagined that this is where we'd be.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I said that to the cops. Actually, I said, This is just unexpected for us. Rileigh just typically, this is not a problem we've had. I don't want to say like, because that's like the stereotypical line, like she's a good kid. I don't want to be like she's really a good kid, officer. But I mean, she is. Like typically, she's just in her room watching Netflix all day.
Yeah, watching Friends.
For real, she's watching Friends.
Yeah, that's what I was doing all day today.
Well, I think over the years you're gonna have to start embellishing this story a little bit and make up something a bit more dramatic about it. Like,
I definitely do.
yeah, maybe like you're drinking at least caffeinated soda.
So I think it's good. Have parties other places,
Yeah.
because then you don't, it's not your fault.
Right.
Then you can run down the hill.
Right. I can be the one to run away.
They can try to recover you.
I don't know. I think part of my advice would be don't run.
Don't run?
Don't run from the cops. That's bad.
What about
Don't do
hiding?
that. Huh?
What about hiding?
Yeah, like maybe hiding in a closet.
Yeah.
Or-
Okay. Well, all right. So I'm being called out a little bit here. I have never had a party where the cops came. I was at a party one time where the cops showed up. I was. And I was stupid. I wasn't doing anything. I was actually in college at this point, and I was old enough to have alcohol. So I had some beers, but I was legal.
But it was legal.
It was legal
Right.
for me to have had those beers. I wasn't publicly intoxicated. I wasn't driving anywhere. But I did hide in a closet with another girl because we were really scared. Because we didn't know. Because
Understandably.
my thought was, if the cops were there, I'm not doing anything bad, but somebody is. And I don't want to, they're going to assume I'm bad because I'm with them. It was very
You're
scary.
not a bad kid.
That's probably what I would have
This
said.
is so unexpected.
I'm a good kid, officer.
I get straight A's.
I'm going to be a doctor one day.
I'm really sorry about all this trouble we've caused you. Please.
Even though I haven't done anything wrong, you can arrest me anyways.
Can I make it? Can I help your kids with their science fair projects or something? I'm really good with that. And my kids too.
You were. I remember one time when I was in high school that we used one of your projects from when you were younger. My friend Richard used it for one of his classes.
Was that Rich who used it?
Yes.
I knew somebody did.
Yeah.
That was a good project.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was on, but he got a good grade for it.
It was on acid mine drainage.
Oh,
It
there
was-
you go.
Yeah. And I was in like 7th grade, I want to say.
Yeah, we were like, what, seniors in high school? Yeah. So seventh grade, acid mine drainage, got my friend Rich and Hay on his project.
Well, I'm proud of that anyway. I'll take it. Boy, that's such a nerdy response. I'll take it. That's fine. I'm just really glad that the work got the kind of, respect and
The kind of recognition it deserves.
exactly. It was that high quality.
So you were hiding in the closet. Did you did you have any like horror show or horror movie type thing where you saw like bodies or just somebody walking, not bodies, where you saw like somebody walking through the cracks, like
I could hear
trying to-
footsteps
trying to find
outside.
you?
They really did. I don't know what was going down at this party because it seemed like a regular party. Like I knew some of the people there. I didn't know all the people there. I didn't see any illegal activity. I don't know. I didn't card people. If there were people under 20, there may have been people under 21. I don't know. I wasn't. So that was my business. But they went through the whole house.
wow.
So
Didn't find Sydney.
they didn't find me.
They didn't recover you.
No, I left as soon as they left. I was like out the back door, and like my boyfriend at the time was there. And I was like, "Get in the car. We are taking off.
We were out of here.
We are leaving. I'm never coming back here. Remember this address. Any parties here again? We're not coming back." This was terrifying. Michael, have you had any parties go horribly awry?
Not really. I did one time. I had some friends that were in town visiting. This was when I was in college, and for whatever reason, they decided to smuggle like cans of beer into the football stadium, like full cans of beer, which you're not allowed to drink beer in the stadium. So I don't know how they thought they were going to get away with it.
No.
But it was halftime, and the campus security came and threw us out. So that was a fun story.
Was it scary being like dragged out by the cops?
It might have been for them, but I mean, I wasn't drinking, so I was kind of just smiling and thinking it was funny. And so they threw us out and they got us outside, and one of the campus police officers, he started trying to interrogate us, and he asked people, and he was asking us like, "Hey, you got any warrants? You got any felonies?" Which I thought was kind of funny because we're college kids, and also I hadn't done anything wrong. So he's like, "Yeah, you got any felonies? You committed any crimes?" And I said, "One time I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die." to quote Johnny Cash. And all the other police officers there started laughing. They're like, "Get out of here right now." So that was my my run-in with the police. But
I'm glad you clarified that that's a Johnny Cash line. I know that, but I didn't know if Rileigh.
Oh.
Okay. Have you heard of Johnny
Yes.
Cash? Okay, good. Good.
Not that out of touch.
It's a line from a song.
I put 2 and 2 together.
Okay.
Got that.
Because that could have seemed really jarring.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like,
What?
did Michael just
Uncle Michael, what,
Killed
you killed a man?
and you just told the cop and the cop laughed at you and then walked away?
I told you to leave?
This is very weird. That's a weird situation.
96 was a dark year for me.
Now, part of the weird thing I found at your party is that, so the cops have come and left, and all the kids, like when I showed up, that was the other thing. All these kids are on their phones, just like thumbs flying, texting away.
Everyone.
Like everyone they know to tell them like the cops came to the party I'm at. They're still here. Like the
Yeah.
cops were still standing there, and all the kids are just standing around texting about it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I doubt they were
I
texting
was
about.
sobbing, but
Yeah.
everyone else was.
Through your tears.
Yeah.
You were Snapchatting.
Yeah.
You were occasionally scrolling. You
I
were
was checking for mom angry texting me.
and probably scrolling the group text.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But the weird thing is, so they sent out to all the people, because other people were supposed to come after mom and dad got home.
Yeah.
And they were sending out, like, the cops came to this party.
And I said at first, like, don't come. Like, the cops are still here. My mom's really mad. I wouldn't come if I were you.
But all these kids wanted to be at this party. Because as I was finally pulling out of the driveway just to get back home when all this madness was ending, and we were trying to figure out, like, who may have called in. That's the other thing we didn't talk about. Everybody was trying to figure out at this point who called in this tip, this
Because we only
anonymous
have
tip.
One neighbor. And the neighbor is the mom of one of the kids that was at my party, and she wasn't even home. So it's not like anyone would have known. And
No.
also, no one was doing it. Like, it's not like anyone was, like, running around with, like, bottles of beer or anything. Like, no one was doing it. I mean, there obviously were people doing it, but I wasn't aware they were doing it.
So that was the weird thing, was that who called it in. And the cops' theory was that most of the time, and they probably have seen this before, it's usually some kid who didn't get invited.
They
Or
probably heard the call, I guess, and it didn't sound like an adult, I would assume.
yeah. And maybe got their feelings hurt, and so...
They wanted to, I guess, get us all in trouble with the police. It kind of seems extreme to go to that
Yeah.
length to get someone in trouble with the cops.
To call the
But-
police down on you.
Yeah.
That is, because, I mean, like I told the kids, I said the thing to learn from this is that you weren't doing anything wrong this time. Let that always be the case, because police officers are here to help you. They're here to make sure everybody's safe. And if you're not doing anything wrong, there's nothing to worry about.
Right.
If you are, this could have gone down much worse for you guys and for mom and dad.
Yeah. Who weren't even at home, but they still could have gotten in trouble.
Yeah, they could have gotten in a lot of trouble. But it was like after all this went down, all the other kids wanted to come to this party. So this really backfired on whoever called this anonymous
Yeah,
tip
like, they
in.
made the party more fun.
Because there were herds of kids walking in as I was pulling out. Like I had to wait for like the pack of teenagers to walk past so I didn't back over some of them.
Then the party got really fun. None of the cops came. They didn't come back.
So we need to figure out how else we can avoid you having the police officers come to your parties in the future.
Yeah, that would be nice.
One thing that I always found helpful was to have mom and dad there. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I told mom, I was like, listen, if you could either go to rehearsal the night where I'm not having people over and the night where I am having people over, you should probably go on the night where I'm not having people over. So that way there's someone here when I'm having people over. But that didn't work out.
That can backfire, though.
That is true.
Because when I was in high school, I did have a party at your house. I had some friends over.
Michael
and-
used to have parties
I love this story.
at our parents' house a lot, actually. That was Because, I guess she was like your cool big sister.
Yeah,
Like, she was cool with it.
Cool big sister. Kind of like, I guess I was the cool,
You were the cool uncle.
Cool uncle. She was the cool big sister. So, yeah, we had a party. I think it was a New Year's Eve party, which actually is my birthday too. So it was kind of like my birthday party and a New Year's Eve party. And I had like 5 or 6 of my friends over. And your house was always really cool too because you had like a hot tub and the trampoline and things like that. So it was a fun place to have a party.
Yeah.
So one of my friends, and I was, now that I think about it, I don't know how he was communicating with this other guy before. Like now I'd say, oh, he was probably texting him, but that was before text messages, so I don't know how he's communicating.
Yeah.
I think maybe he used a landline. Maybe, I don't know.
Did he actually use the phone
He
to
must
call?
have. Yeah, that's the only way he could have done it. So he had a problem. He had a problem with this other guy at school, and I guess he got on your parents' telephone at the house and decided he was going to call him and tell him what he thought about him. And
Can you imagine that? Can you
No.
imagine? Can you also imagine even on your cell phone, picking up your cell phone and actually calling somebody you have a problem with and then
Never.
saying it out loud?
Never.
Because what I've learned, Michael, is that these kids don't talk on the phone anymore.
Well, okay, I've done that once. I was very upset. Someone was very upsetting to me, and they tried to call me, so I answered the phone and just yelled at them and then hung up. But that was different.
Okay.
well, so I guess he must have called him on the landline, oddly enough. And he was the friend that always kind of did things like that. And I think he said something along the lines of, I was like, oh, you won't come over here, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they actually came to my parents' house first, looking for me because they knew that I was at the party.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And so then I guess my dad was like, no, he's not here. I think my dad even said, no, he's not here. He's over at Mary's house.
I think Papa did because I don't think he knew. I think he just thought they were friends of yours.
Yeah.
And like, oh no, do you want
Yeah.
to?
You want the address? Can I give you a ride?
Need some direction?
Yeah. So anyway,
You boys need a drink?
Yeah.
Need some water or
Yeah.
something? Had a long drive.
need to use our landline. So evidently they eventually showed up, and I think your parents were already in bed because I remember they showed up and they rang the doorbell, and like my friends and I were all looking out through the window like, oh my God. Because there
What
was
are we
like
gonna
a gang
do?
of like 15 people outside wanting to like kick my one friend's butt. And so I think your dad came out, and I think he was like in his boxer shorts, if I remember correctly. And he came outside, he's like, oh, I'll take care of this. And it's like, yeah, a bunch of high school kids. Well, I'll come out there and they'll run, I'm an adult.
I think that because my dad's kind of a big guy too.
Yeah.
So I think he thought I'll just come out there in my boxer shorts, kind of throw a little dad weight around, like, listen here, boys.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna have this tonight. Just take off.
So he walks out there in his boxer shorts, and then all of a sudden they descend upon him like those winged creatures from Wizard of Oz. It's like,
Like the flying monkey.
yeah, whatever they were. And so like we all started freaking out, and then I think Charles went running outside and like grabbed one or two of them and was like, get off of him. I went running outside shrieking with the broom, get off Tommy. Screaming. And eventually at that point they left. And my one friend that was talking on the trash never went outside, but
Of course,
Yeah,
of
of
course.
course.
No, we were pretty lucky. That's what Charles, that Michael mentioned, is one of our cousins who is at the time was pretty beefy.
yeah, he was really
He was
into lifting
working
weights.
out a lot
Yeah.
back then, and so he kind of went out and started throwing high school kids around. And
Yeah. He was, I think, he was in college at that point because I
Yeah.
think he was already graduated. So yeah, that was a party gone wrong. So,
that was. We can laugh
I'd love
about
to
it
have
now.
Seen that though.
Huh?
I'd love to have seen that though.
well, now that I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm seeing a common thread with these party problems that you and I both had, Rileigh. There was some form of outside communication possibly about
Yeah.
people from outside the party coming to the party or wanting to come to the party
yeah.
or something like that.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it just occurred to me.
Yeah.
But see, that I think that would, and that's true, but it'd be difficult for you to moderate that because Rileigh has informed me that the main thing that people do when they get together is like take pictures and Snapchat and Instagram and do the stories that you make.
You and Mom have the same amount of knowledge on this subject, even though I've told you a lot about this.
I still just don't know how to do it. Like, I've never done it. I mean, I have Instagram. I know how that works.
That's different.
But that's mainly what they do is they go to these parties and they spend the whole time telling other people about the party so that everybody knows how cool they are.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have to stop all that, I think.
Right. Which, I mean, I could, but there's no way I could keep everyone else at this party from using their apps and their phones and stuff.
Maybe we could construct some sort of like cell phone jammer so you can't get an outside signal. I'm sure that
Inside my house.
yeah, you can have like a cell phone, like flip the switch, like ooh, and all of a sudden, like you can still take pictures and do things. You just can't send them to the outside world.
That's actually a really good idea. We just got to figure out how to do it.
I imagine that moment when everybody walks into the house and they're all on their phones because they are constantly, they're
Always.
talking to you and they're still on their phones talking to you. Because I was swarmed after I got there by like 4 teenage girls who were, I don't know, other than Rileigh, who were hugging me and apologizing to me. And I'm going, hi, it's fine. What? Why? What did you do? I'm trying to be a very mom, like, it's fine, but, let's all calm down. Let's be serious. Don't do bad things. This won't happen. What am I supposed to say? I don't know.
It just cracks me up. I just wish I could have been a fly on the wall and seen you, Sydney, walking into a busted high school party because you don't really look like an adult figure.
I know. I don't think anybody knew I was an adult.
I don't think thought you were an adult.
No, I don't think they were. I was trying to find a way to say I'm a grown-up without having to yell, I'm a grown-up.
I told the cops ahead of time before you got there. I was like, this is my sister that is coming. She is an adult. She also has a child, so she is very much so an adult. She's not like just 18 and technically adult. She is actually an adult.
I actually told one of the cops that. I had to give one of the cops a tour of the rest of the house. Like, here are the other bed, in case you want to see, are there kids hiding back here? I don't know. They're probably not.
Are there any kids in the closet?
Well, I knew. Yeah, I knew where they hide. Like, do you want to see? I don't care. It's fine. And I was trying to do that. And as I was walking, I was like, yeah, I just got the baby down and I had to come up and deal with this. And, adult.
Did you
Almost.
say that? Adult.
Gotta get those taxes filed, am I right? Almost tax time.
Uncle Sam's got to take his chunk, right? You know what I'm talking about. You hear me? No, but as all these kids are running up and they're all on their phones, I imagine that if we all of a sudden would turn off cell service and nobody would be on their phones, it would be like in a horror movie, like simultaneously. It would be like when the lights go off and everybody screams.
Yeah.
Everybody would look at their phone.
Do you have a signal? I don't have a signal.
There's no signal. And then Rileigh says,
by the window.
no, there's no service here. And everybody just goes,
And everyone runs out of the house down the hill again. Down the hill.
You have another switch that locks all the doors. Chink.
you're stuck here.
Then
Drink.
I'd definitely be the coolest kid of
Hang
all
out
the parties.
with me and drink my uncaffeinated soda.
I have Skittles.
I'm going to sing you some Glee songs.
Aww.
Have cool parties.
You have the coolest party. You got busted
Obviously.
by the cops. Is that cool?
I guess so. I mean, it's all everyone's going to be talking about.
I was going to say, tomorrow at school, that is going to be the story.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tell all my teachers. Actually, I won't do that.
No, don't.
Tell all the cool kids, and then I'll be one of them.
There you go.
Then I'm in.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Probably. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what it takes.
I don't know. News like that would have diffused, I think, a lot faster back when I was in high school. Like, you would have found out, or I mean, a lot slower. Like, you would have found out eventually, but everybody wouldn't have known instantly. I feel like by now, everybody probably knows.
Yeah. Like, there were people
yeah.
I'm not even that close to that I was texting. One of my friends that lives and goes to college 3 hours away, and then she was like, hey, heard the cops busted your party. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I heard about it. And I was like, yeah, that was like an hour ago. Like, they just left.
That's
I don't know
amazing.
how she knew.
So I think that's a really good rule. I would say that you've probably, even though you weren't doing anything wrong, you've probably learned, you know what, I'm not going to do stuff that I'm not supposed to do at parties, because that was probably pretty scary. And if if the cop had come to you with that breathalyzer and you knew it wasn't going to be zero,
Right.
it would have been a pretty scary moment.
Yeah.
No,
I would
because-
have run at that point.
You would just say, no, I'm going to call my Uncle Michael right now. He's a lawyer.
That's a good point. That's a whole other question. Could you have said no to that? For now, I'm just going to say, good. Don't drink.
Yeah.
Because you can't say no. No. No, it was good that you weren't drinking because mom and dad weren't there and you guys were unsupervised and it could have been really dangerous.
Right.
That was all very good.
Yep.
But you've got to be careful too. And I think, Michael, you mentioned that you have like that one friend who's always doing stuff like that.
Yep. I know who you're talking about.
And you probably do now.
Uh-huh.
Who just...
It's like,
The friend who does stuff. Just does stuff.
The bad stuff.
Everybody's cool. Everybody's chilling. Everybody's having a good time. Nobody's upset. And then there's the one friend who's got to get something going, who's in a fight with somebody, who's got drama going on somewhere, who has something illegal that you're not supposed to have. And then it starts that whole like domino effect. Because I know whenever I was somewhere where somebody would have like alcohol or something and like everybody knew they weren't supposed to do it, there was like the one person who was like, come on. And then it would be like a few other people, like it was like domino peer pressure.
Right.
And then you just had to get out of there before the dominoes came at you.
Yeah, I'm looking back on it now. I'm thinking to myself, why do we ever hang out with that guy?
Right. I know. I've had that thought before because I had a friend like that and it was like, why were you there? Why didn't we stop telling you?
Yeah,
We all used landlines. We could have just not called you.
yeah, exactly.
There was no way for you to find out.
Not like you would have seen it on the Facebook.
No. Nobody was going to tweet about it. Nobody was going to make a story.
Yeah.
And just,
There you go.
I don't actually call it the Facebook. I was being funny.
You don't want any uncool points there.
Yeah, it's like,
The kids don't use Facebook anymore.
yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yep.
That's what I
don't
wondered
ever get on
about that.
Facebook.
Yeah, because one of the police officers specifically said, have any of you been talking about this on Facebook? And instantly the entire room went, no. And I thought, you need to follow that up with, or any other. It's like, that was an easy lie to tell. No, obviously not. I was like saying, have any of you been on MySpace about this? Have you been live journaling it?
It's all over Friendster.
Jeez. I got on my AOL chat and started telling. I got in a chat room.
A chat room. Yeah.
I was
Told
telling
everyone there.
age, sex, location.
ASL.
That's what you used to type to ask people. ASL.
Got it.
Really?
I understood.
You've been in chat rooms like that before?
Yeah.
They still have those?
I don't think they still do, but I remember I first got an iPhone. One of the first apps I got was AOL or AIM.
Yeah.
Too. And that was how I talked to people. Not people I didn't know, people I did know. But yeah.
So was that helpful? Have we taught you how not to
Was.
party?
Now I know how to party part 2, I guess. Party 2?
I don't know. I think this was more how not to party.
Yeah. Now I know how to party better.
Don't party when the police come. Don't
Yeah.
throw a party where the police come.
Yeah.
Don't invite that friend who just does stuff.
That one.
That one friend.
That friend might be fun, but it's a price you pay. So don't, the friend who
They're not
does
even
stuff.
that fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe next time drink caffeinated soda. Maybe that'll keep everybody interested enough so that they don't feel the need to pursue adult beverages.
Right.
And have mom and dad there.
Yeah. Not at my house.
Well, or sometimes.
Yeah, someone else's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, at somebody else's house. Have their mom and dad there. And don't hide in the closet.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Always identify escape route.
That isn't over the back hill.
Right. Some other form of getting out without like breaking your wrist or breaking your ankle.
Exactly. Rileigh today, when we were in one of the spare bedrooms, was looking at the window and went, you could easily just jump right out that window. That's not that far. I was like, were you planning for the future?
Next time the cops show up.
Yeah, for next time?
Yeah.
Now you know where you're headed.
Riley's always going to go to parties with her backpack. It's her emergency escape plan backpack. It's like a rope ladder. And
Survival kit.
Add that to your Skittles. That's what you need.
Yep.
And your
Syrup and
uncaffeinated
Skittles.
soda.
Caffeinated soda. There we go. Party kit 101.
Well, thank you so much, everybody who listens to our show each week. Thank you for everybody who's on the Facebook group.
The Facebook.
On the Facebook group, the Facebook group. You know what I mean. The Still Buffering group. We have lots of members. Please join if you're interested. We will let you in as long as you're a real person and not like a robot who wants to sell us things.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're welcome. We will approve you. Thank you to Maximum Fun for hosting our show, as well as a lot of other wonderful, amazing shows that you should be checking out
Go listen to them right now.
and listening to. Yes, we've mentioned before, one of the most recently added shows was Schmanners
Schmanners.
by our family members, Travis and
Travis
Teresa
and Teresa.
McElroy.
Yep.
It's adorable. Check them out. And then there's also Rose Buddies, who are other family members.
Yeah,
Griffin and Rachel
Griffin and
McElroy
Rachel.
do.
All
So if you're
about
Yeah.
The Bachelor family of products.
If you're a Bachelorette fan, you should
Coming up.
or Bachelor fan.
Yeah. Is it
Either
about
way.
to end? It's about to end.
It's about to end. You
Oh,
should be
no.
checking it out. Thank you to the Novellas for our theme song, Baby You Change Your Mind. And guys, if you have a chance, feel free to go to iTunes and review us and rate us. We really appreciate that. If you like it, if you like our show, share it with people. We're on Twitter at StillBuff, and you can email us at stillbuffering@maximumfun.org.
Yep.
I think that's everything.
Thank you to Uncle Michael for being on the show, talking about how not to party.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
This has been Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Rileigh Smurl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
I am a teenager.
And I was too.